Ugh. How you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Really good.
Good. You're looking. Look, you were never heavy to begin with, but you look even thinner than you used to be because you were always in relatively good shape, and now you look even skinnier. What are you doing different?
5-minute abs, man.
Oh man, I need to do that for like 25 hours straight.
Oh man. Well, I don't know. I'm eating super healthy. I mean, I brought meals with me. That was just chopped up chicken, broccoli, and brown rice.
That's the way to do it. Do you have your own chef kind of thing?
No, I just do it.
You prep it out for the week?
I prep it out for the week.
See,
it's
that's
so.
The way to do it.
And I started doing it one day. My friend he's just in the best shape, and he's like, you can't eat the shit that they provide for you, So make it yourself. So I just get all this stuff from Trader Joe's, super cheap, and chop it up, and then.
How do you travel with it? Like, especially if you go cross country. You have like freezer bags or something with you where you're bringing it with you?
Well, I mean, really everywhere I go has a Trader Joe's.
Yeah,
So.
There's Trader Joe's everywhere, Eric.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Some areas you may go. Do they have a Trader Joe's when you go out of country?
But I'm on a very boring diet. It's really just like a protein, veggies, and brown rice.
The Shawn Michaels diet from WWE. Oh, he was infamous for just having chicken, broccoli, and rice. And
That's what. And I eat every 2 hours, and so like today I brought 2 with me, just containers that I'll just like heat up and I'll eat.
As long as you keep on schedule, you keep your routine down.
But I'm just constantly hungry because it's not big meals.
It's just like constantly just snacking. I feel like that's the way I started eating when I moved to the city. I started looking at my body as like, hey, I need fuel, and I just don't want to run out before I get to the next station. So I just like eat enough to like keep me going, and then when I'm hungry, eat a snack a little bit, keep going type thing. I don't know if that's healthy or not, but that's what I do.
Really changing my mind of going to Chick-fil-A after this.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you're looking great, my friend.
No, it's because the console's covering 3/4 of me. But if I stood up, you'd be like, yeah.
I love that shirt.
All right.
It's so
BioShock.
good.
Well, you gave him the answer. I was just going to ask him if he knew what it was.
No.
It's from BioShock.
Okay.
But you're in a Final Fantasy project. Yeah. Which we'll get into right now. But are you a big video game fan?
I used to be. I used to play. A bunch of shit in high school. But once I moved to LA when I was 17, and then I just never.
You were working.
I just never bought like any video game consoles. So once I had that in front of me, I would just be constantly
playing. You're not
playing.
doing the phone games because you're on set and constantly traveling, are you?
Right. Well, you know what? I have one game that I do play from time to time on my phone. The Agaro .0. What is it called? Do you know what that game is?
I don't know that one.
It's just a little dot, and you try to collect other dots, and then you're playing with a bunch of online people.
That's pretty cool.
And if you're bigger than their dot, you can take over them, and then it's just.
All I'm playing on my phone is Pocket Mortys from Rick and Morty, and this game called Clear Vision, which is just a stick figure who's a sniper and goes out on. You pay him, and then he goes out on task to snipe other stick figures. It's really weird.
I love that. That sounds amazing.
But let's talk about it's Kingsglaive Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah,
and it's not. I don't want to say animated in the sake of animated, but it's that weird hybrid of animation, but it looks like they just put it over somebody.
And that's exactly what they did. I mean, they shot this film. It was motion captured, so they had actors, actresses wearing suits with all the balls over their body, all over their face, and so it's capturing their movements, it's capturing their facial expressions, and then they animate over it. And so I'm playing this character Nyx, who the guy that played him in the motion capture is far better looking than I am. So and in much better shape. So I felt kind of like a badass, voicing to this guy. But it was great.
Is it weird to like do your voice for someone else's acting, like physical acting? Because like animation, it's like they're drawing it. Like BoJack, it's a cartoon. Like this is like you're actually speaking for someone else. Like how does that feel?
I mean, it is a little odd because you have to have it match perfect to the way they did it. So you don't have the freedom of truly giving the line reading exactly the time that you may have chosen.
Right. You really got to nail down the mouth movements.
You have to nail down the mouth movements because it's already recorded. So yeah, it was great. I mean, this film, they had been working on it for 3 years before I had signed on, and the moment they showed me this little teaser trailer, and I mean, it's a spectacle. I mean, it looks just like a massive budget franchise film. I mean, they really spent a lot of time and a lot of money and making
this was
movie
not
perfect.
one of those. We have some money that we have to burn from a company, like we got to get it out, or we lose the tax incentive or something. It's like some quick throw together animation story, and it'll do well on DVD and Blu-ray or on demand. They really took their time with this project, especially because the Final Fantasy license and the name is all over this thing
huge.
here, and that is and. I regret not ever really playing anything from the Final Fantasy series because it's so beloved.
Right.
And just like Star Trek movies, some are good, some are bad, but everybody, for the most part, loves this franchise. It hasn't gone away. It keeps getting bigger. You see more cosplay when you go to San Diego or New York Comic Con, things like that. So to do something like this, they really had to get it right, or else people are just gonna you're fucking up the franchise.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of pressure there, and when this was placed on my desk, I was like, oh my God, Final Fantasy movie. This is unreal. I knew it was going to be very special. I mean, the script was roughly 165 pages, so it was a pretty big script. But scripts are usually, 115, 120. This was close to 200. And I started reading it, and I'm like, I'll give this a shot. And I just loved this story. I mean, I was just so captivated.
Have you played the games? I know you said it's been a while since you played, but did you play? That franchise has been around forever.
It's been around forever.
Have you played any of them?
I've never played in it, but my brother, who is a huge gamer still to this day, I mean, it's really his world outside of work. He'll go home and just dive into gaming, or he really loves anime. But so I'm like, if this script is great, I want to do it just really for him and get him super excited. And
was he sitting there like, this is my thing? And again, Aaron gets a part of this.
Yeah, shame on you. Yeah. No, he is so just, every time I talk to him, he brings this game up, or I mean this film up, and
steal something from the set.
Yeah,
Get me one of those swords.
People are gonna really, if you get the opportunity to see this in a theater, I mean, I just take it because it's such a visual, really a visual masterpiece. I mean, it's gorgeous. So,
I mean, the good thing about the Final Fantasy stories, they have epic stories. Like, they're so good, and the characters are so well developed, and they always have just this great story arc. Like, there's a really good beginning, a middle, and the end is always just like heartbreaking in a way.
It is
Hence
heartbreaking.
why it's called Final Fantasy. Like, every game doesn't really end on a hey, that was.
Do you know why it's called Final Fantasy?
I just found out.
Isn't that so great?
It's so. Let's see if it's the same answer. I was listening to our friends over at Retronauts, who do the classic video game podcast. And they were talking about the first Final Fantasy, and apparently it was the last-ditch effort of the production company. They're like, this is just going to be the last game we put out, so it's going to be the Final Fantasy of what we're doing.
So the name had nothing to do with the game. It was
just like their last dream.
All right, you know what? Yeah, exactly. This is our Final Fantasy.
Right.
And then it just took off. 15 games later.
Right.
Billion-dollar franchise.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
That's doing the blind Hail Mary, throw.
That's exactly.
Let's just see what it does.
I mean,
we're out of time. Oh my God, he caught it.
They've sold,
we're millionaires.
I think, 110 or 115 million units.
Yeah.
Right.
Thus far, which is just unreal.
And it's been recreated in not just the original game system that it was part of, but then they recreated it, I remember, for PlayStation and for the PSP, and then they keep bringing back the older versions for the newer consoles and the newer ways to play it, because people still love playing the old games.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
From the very first one up to the current stuff. So Kingsglaive Final Fantasy 15 is out today. We're talking with Aaron Paul, of course, who's Nick's pretty much a big deal in this picture here. Do you want to do more stuff involving video games? Because I know you've done other animation stuff, but do you want to try to get more into the gaming world? Like if the Rockstar called and said, hey, we're doing GTA 6, do you want to be a part of it? I don't imagine you're saying no.
Oh God, that'd be amazing.
That would be so much fun.
Oh my God.
You got to run with a rocket launcher for 2 hours.
Yeah, why not? You know, when they did on Grand Theft Auto, I think it was the latest one.
5, yeah.
You could ride a helicopter to the back of a mountain and see my face like engraved into the mountain.
That's so cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yes. And
I gotta get out of because I would steal the helicopter and I would just go haphazardly through the city until he fell out of the helicopter and hit a building.
Yeah, and so you see all these people like trying to jump out of the helicopter and land on my face because I think it's some sort of secret something.
And they're yelling "bitch."
Yeah, it was really just a hidden homage to Breaking Bad. I mean, it wasn't me as Aaron Paul, it was me as Jesse Pinkman, but. Yeah, it was great.
That's so cool.
Two other quick things off from Final Fantasy. One, are you tired of having to say "bitch" all the time for people? Like I'm not going to ask you, but like radio shows and TV things. Oh, can you do an ID where you're saying "bitch," or if somebody sees you in the on the streets, takes a photo with you, and it's like, "Could you call me a bitch?" or "Can you just say something?"
It does hapen on a daily basis, so you can only. What do you think? You can imagine.
Yes, bitch.
When you're just walking
What's your
down
text from your mom? Good morning, bitch.
Yeah, you're walking down the street, with your parents, and you just hear someone.
Yeah.
Hey,
bitch.
What's up, bitch? You take it with stride.
Right.
I feel very blessed to have said bitch for so many years.
And you can't even trademark it and make money off of it.
I know, damn it.
It's one of those, I forgot what the term is, but when it becomes part of the lexicon, where you...
From a dictionary, Eric?
No, where they can't, where you can't trademark or copyright anything anymore because it becomes such a common usage word.
Right.
The other thing I wanted to ask you is I just read a piece about you in Elle magazine.
Oh.
For one of our favorite shows, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And it turns out you're such a diehard fan that you got the chance to interview Millie Bobby Brown while she was away on vacation with her family in Spain, and you're wherever you did the interview from. That's so cool when you see celebrities wanting to talk to other celebrities about their projects, because usually that's, I ran into such and such at dinner and we talked a little bit, or if we're on the set of a new project, we talk about our old stuff. It's guys like us who do interviews or late night talk shows who are the chance to get all the pop culture common stuff that's going on right now, that they get the chance to talk to those people. But you got to do this for a major publication. What was it like being in that seat where you're doing the interview to another celebrity for a project you really love?
I mean, I felt what it feels like to be in your shoes for a moment, and it's
you're all giddy.
Yeah, it was just
like
absolutely. I was extremely excited. So yeah, Elle magazine. I was very vocal about how much I loved Stranger Things on social media, and so Elle magazine reached out to my PR and said, "Hey, do you think Aaron would be interested in? We're doing a piece on Millie Bobby Brown, who plays 11. Do you think he would want to be the person to interview her?" And I've been asked that sort of thing before, and I just never really felt like it was right. And it was just this instant, spontaneous yes. And then after I said yes and it was confirmed, I started getting really nervous. And I'm like, what am I going to talk to this young girl about? I wanted to make it good and fun, and
you did, because the way the interview started, and I give you all the credit in the world because it's probably something I would have said, was that he says to her, she goes, Did you always know you can act? And she went, "No, I'm 12." And I'm like, this is so funny. And then it just set the tone for the rest of the article.
Yeah.
I don't want to give any more away. Go to Elle online or find the magazine and you can read the rest of it. But
it was so much fun.
You could just tell he was so excited, because that's that Chris Farley-like question that everybody has when they're like, "Oh my God, I'm getting a chance to talk to this person," and it always runs through your head all the things I'm going to ask, and usually the first thing you ask is kind of like a little off-putting, a little dopey, and it's like, he's a human being like the rest of us.
No, I just wanted to be very, sort of open and fun, and so why not start with just the basic? Because she doesn't only know how to act. I mean,
she's so great in that role.
She is her instinct is just really inspiring.
There's photoshops of her in every famous kind of horror movie where that she would fit. Like she's Damien in the Omen.
Yep.
She's the kid in the Twilight Zone that changes everybody because he doesn't like the like they put her face in there,
right?
And she fits in every part.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be
I got this like awesome. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. Somebody sent me today of a comic book cover for Stranger Things that they made. It's gonna pull up in a second there. And it's really neat if it actually pops up here. Sorry.
It's all right. We can edit that.
There it is.
You got it?
Yeah. And it's like this cool, like 60s, like 70s horror theme, like throwback to it, and it's really cool. The style's awesome. Like Elle right in the front.
Yeah, it's so great. I love it.
Oh, that is very good.
Yeah. No, she's so incredible. That entire show is just beautiful, and the fact that everyone passed on it, and then Netflix is like, yeah, we'll do it.
Because I think
always the story.
I think Netflix understands characters and story,
right.
and everyone else just understands like bottom line and like.
And they don't have the pressure
out as cheap and make money.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Netflix is like, no, let's play the long game. Let's tell a story.
Yeah. They don't have the pressure to develop it each week. Where like we got to keep the audience keep coming back.
Right.
They put it all out there and go, you'll figure it out on your own whether you like it or not. Like reading a book.
Exactly.
And then you go through everything and go, wow, this is great. I'm going to recommend to you.
Yeah.
This show. It's all up there for you to check out. You don't have to wait or like.
Yeah.
It's halfway through the season. I have to buy the episodes, or I got to wait till.
You're not committed to it for 6-7 months, or you have to tune in every single week. It's just all there, right there.
We are running out of time here. Do you have anything that you want to throw out there before we go?
This is like me being all nerdy. Like wrote down my notes here.
I love it.
A second. I was just gonna ask, and this is like just a question because you did a lot of TV shows like Breaking Bad and The Path and like BoJack, and these are all just really just dark shows. Like even BoJack for cartoons getting really dark in this third season.
Yeah.
Like, how do you mentally prepare as an actor to like get into that role, and how much of Aaron Paul do you put into those characters?
Oh man, I just for some reason I gravitate towards the darker side of things, and I feel like I'm a happy, sort of lighthearted person, but I think maybe we all have that sort of inner darkness that we kind of play with from time to time. And for me as an actor, I love characters that are dealing with internal conflict. I love stories with conflict. So yeah, I mean, I don't really put much of myself in these roles. At least I don't think so. I just really dive into the characters or to the stories that are really, that I'm passionate about, that I love, and then just force myself to believe that these situations are happening to me as that particular character. But with that said, I would love to, do
like Aaron Paul's Puppy Hour.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to do Aaron Paul's Puppy Hour?
That'll show up on Adult Swim.
Oh yeah,
they'll take it in a heartbeat.
I love it.
We are out of time. It's Aaron Paul _8 on Twitter. Show him some love, especially after you see Kingsglaive, Final Fantasy 15. It's out today. Aaron, thank you so much. We always run out of time, but next time you're back in New York, we'd love to talk to you more because you were great in Exodus.
Oh, thank you.
And I know that movie didn't get the accolades I think it should have, but you play Joshua in there, and it was a really good movie. And what I didn't see, but I do have in my iTunes queue, is Central Intelligence.
Oh,
he's there with The Rock and Kevin Hart.
It's
the
a
guy's all over the
great
place.
movie.
I've heard everybody's telling me it's really.
It's a really fun, cool movie. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, boys.
Aaron Paul, thank you so much, and we won't ask you to say bitch.
Oh, you bitch.
We love you.